I have a big problem. I want to buy a drink out of this bar using this Solana online store, but I don't have any SOL in my wallet. So what do I do now? I can't sign transactions, right? But wait, what is this? There's a checkbox here for gasless transactions paying fees in USDC. Wow, let's try this out. So I scan this QR code with my wallet, I connect my wallet, and now I can see, now I can sign the transaction and it doesn't cost me any SOL. And it immediately pumps me a drink. So yes, this is right. So you can now actually pay for any Solana transactions just using SPL tokens instead of SOL. So this is actually solving one of the biggest UX problems in crypto, paying gas fees. So today I'm gonna introduce you to KORA. KORA can be used to pay transaction fees in any SPL token. And KORA is built by the Solana Foundation. It's fully open source, it's production ready, and you can self-host it and deploy it to Railway or any cloud. And it comes with rate limiting, with monitoring, security, validation, everything you need to run it in production. So yeah, let's learn how to use it. So for our little demo in the intro, we were actually using this app here. So it's called Let Me Buy, and it lets you just define a bunch of products and you can buy them. And now if I click this little checkbox here to make it gasless, if you look at this transaction here in Backpack, we can see that we are actually not the fee payer anymore, but we are sending a little bit of USDC to our KORA node, and then KORA uses this USDC to pay for the transaction fee. So let's look at this transaction on what's actually happening in here. So here we can see already that the KORA signer is actually the fee payer of this transaction, and my Solflare wallet is just a signer. And if we look at this token transfers here, we can see that our the store USDC account receives 0.5 USDC to pay for the drink, and the KORA address receives 0.000926 USDC to pay for the transaction fees. And my Solflare wallet paid both of these. And this is the transaction. It's called Let Me Buy, Make Purchase. And here we can see we bought a Jägermeister from the Super Team Germany store. And yeah, our Solflare wallet was just a signer in this. And then we have a token transfer, which sends 0.5 USDC to the store account to pay for the drink. And we have another transfer that transfers 0.000926 to the KORA node to pay for the transaction fee. This is of course all abstracted away from the user, so they would never see that. So for them it just looks like, hey, I'm just paying in any SPL token really. So how this works is that we create a transaction in the front end, then we send it to the KORA server. The KORA server looks at it and does, depending on the config and some security rules, it estimates the fees for this transaction and co-signs it as a fee payer. And then you send this signed transaction, you sign it, and then you send it off to the network. And immediately you have a gasless transaction. And now you might ask, like, how does it pay for different accounts, right? Like a token account or a PDA, for example. So KORA can also handle this, and you can set the fees for this with multiple rules. So you can say, hey, I want to add a little bit of margin, like 10% more, for example, or you just have a fixed fee, or you can make it completely free if you want. So yeah, you can configure all this in the KORA TOML file actually. So here you can set like, these are the allowed programs. So the Let Me Buy program, the token program, these are the allowed tokens. And you can say, hey, allow it to burn and transfer and create accounts and all that. So this config is very important. But it's also very important to know that actually KORA doesn't custody any funds. It just co-signs the transaction to be a fee payer. So your users are still keeping all their tokens and everything for themselves. So you're not actually giving anything away to the KORA node. It's just to make the transactions gasless. And KORA also has like really nice docs. So you can also read through the docs. But now we want to look at the code on how this actually works, because it's really easy to implement. Yeah, well, the docs are really good. I built a little example to just make it easy for you to run this locally and have a look at it. So I have a local validator running now, and I have a local KORA node running. And now I want to just run one of these purchase examples. So I'm gonna run this, and we can see it's setting up the client, it's building a purchase, and it's paying a little bit of fake USDC, and then it sends the transaction. And now I also have locally here this transaction that pays like some new tokens, And also the KORA node gets paid in these tokens to pay for the transaction fee. So let's look at the code now. So it's actually quite straightforward. So the KORA client SDK is pretty nice. So you just create a KORA client, and then on the KORA client you pay get payer signer. This will basically the fee payer in our transaction. Then you create the instruction that you want to do. This can be whatever you want. In our case, it's the interaction with this Let Me Buy program, but it could also be just a normal transfer or something. So, and then you take this instruction and you create a transaction from it. And then you call KORA again and you want to get your payment instructions. So you put your transaction in there, you define the token that you want to pay the fees in, and then the source wallet. And now KORA will actually send you back an instruction that you need to put into your transaction to make it gas free. So, and then I take this payment instruction and my purchase instruction, I put them together into the final transaction, and then I call KORA again to sign the transaction, and then I can send it. That's the whole magic there. What you can also do is you can directly take your transaction and you can just call KORA sign and send transaction, and then it does the whole thing for you. So yeah, this is how the whole process works. Basically, you take your transaction, send it to KORA, it estimates the fees, gives you back a payment instruction, and then you bundle these together and then you send them off to Solana, and then you're good to go. So yeah, in this example here, I have a few different examples. So you can do a live purchase to the Let Me Buy app. So I configured a KORA node here that you can try out. You have this fire and forget, basically, which does KORA sign and send. Then you have the KORA just sign transaction, and then you send it with your own RPC. And then you have a plugin demo that shows you how you can use any program's IDL to create a client. But now let's look at how you can actually deploy this KORA node to Railway, so you can just deploy it and use it in your apps. So now let's say you have tested everything locally, everything works, and now you want to deploy it live so that your users can actually enjoy gasless transactions. For that, we're going to follow the docs on launch.solana.com/docs-KORA. And the easiest way to do this is to just deploy your app to Railway. And how we do this, we need these 3 files here. So let's look at these files first. So first we have a Docker file. It basically just installs the CLI and then starts the KORA node with the KORA TOML and your signers TOML. So let's look at this KORA production TOML because it's very important. And because you don't want anyone to drain all the SOL from your KORA node, for example. So first of all, we set a few configs here. So we say the max allowed lamperts, for example. We say max signatures. We say our price source should be Jupiter. So I configured a Jupiter key, and this one will then do a call to find the price of the SPL token I'm using, and then calculates the fees from that. Then I set my allowed programs. So I only want people to be able to interact through my KORA node by using the Let Me Buy program, the token program, the system program, and so on. I only allow USDC, and I have everything else set to false. So I don't allow transfers, I don't allow assign, and all these things. So you should really take some time to go through this configuration file to make sure that it's actually secure and you only allow what you actually want to allow, since your KORA signer is actually co-signing the transaction that people are sending. So you need to be a bit careful there. And then what you do is you just use the Railway CLI, you do Railway login, Railway init, and Railway up. And then you will end up with something like this here. So you have your app deployed. And the key is actually coming from the signers TOML. And here we can just see the private key comes from the KORA private key parameter. And that one you will set in your settings in Railway. And yeah, I think this is pretty much about it if you want to deploy your app to Railway, and then you can just have a checkbox for gasless transactions. And if you want this to work with Solana Pay, how Solana Pay works is basically you ask a backend to create your transaction and you send it to the mobile wallet, and the mobile wallet signs it. And what you can do in the backend is the same thing you would do in the client and the demo earlier. You just call the KORA node to be the signer, and then your mobile wallet will just not pay fees anymore. And then also on the mobile wallet, you can just use SPL tokens to pay for transactions. So yeah, that's KORA. Gasless transactions on Solana, open source, production ready. So if you're building a commerce app, a game, or a wallet, or basically everything where the user experience can be improved by abstracting fees away, check out KORA. It's all open source. Here's the repository. Then check out the docs. They're very good. Then check out my example here. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.